Today, let's sew some menswear joggers, perfect for spring. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today we are jumping into the world of menswear with this Mccalls pattern. So this is 7486. I am making view E, which is joggers. They have like a stripe on the side. I already have all the fabric cut out, and it is time to go ahead and get started. So for this pattern, if you are interested, the biggest piece of advice is to remember this is for stretch fabrics only. And the pattern does have on the side how much stretch your fabric would need. So I got this from Fabric Wholesale Direct. I actually got a lot of it, but it was really easy to work with, and I think that it worked great for this pattern itself. I also, once I got the pocket in place, I then went through, went to my sewing machine, got it all set up for working with the stretch fabrics to include the walking foot, the stretch stitch, and then I did put on the ballpoint needle. Once I did that though, I just started to sew the pocket. Everything looked good. It was nice and stretchy, just like it should be. And then I got the other side of the pocket and sewed it on as well. So for a lot of this, especially because it's pants, so you have two pant legs, two pockets, we're going to be doing kind of two of each. So just something to keep in mind. For most of this pattern, I will say it was very straightforward. I understood what the pattern was talking about, and I think that this could be a really great option. If you are somewhat new to the stretch fabric world, or if you are new to menswear, so this was actually one of my first menswear patterns that I've really done, and I found it very easy to walk through and very simple to do. The next step after I got the first piece of the fabric in place was then I got the back of the pocket. So the idea here is now we are making it, turning this into a full pocket so that when you kind of fold this over, there is a little gap to make it the full front of the pants. So as you can see, you have like that opening, but just shows you where that pocket would be going. So again, just use my sewing machine to sew that in place too. The cat was very interested throughout this entire process, so you will see her multiple more times. And then here's what the pocket looks like. So everything's sewn in. I did then do a top stitch just to make sure that everything was good. And now I'm just going to go through and at the top pin this so that we're just going to be basting it to sort of hold this in place while we go through the rest of the pants process. And then once that pocket is sewn, you are actually done with the front pockets for this pattern. So then it's just time to go ahead and do the stripe on the side. Now for the stripe, I decided to use a rib knit to just add a little bit more contrast to it. So for this, pretty simple, you're just gonna be matching them with right sides together, but it's at that diagonal. So it's actually gonna look like they are at a perpendicular angle. And then we're just gonna be sewing that across for both of the stripes. And then here is the cat again. You can see she was thoroughly enjoying the pattern and the fabric and all that it was. Sometimes she just gets really into what I'm sewing and other times she doesn't, but for this one she really wanted to leave her mark. I will say that this fabric does collect cat hair very much, so just be cautious of that. Now for this, it did say to use a double stitch, so I just went ahead and used my serger to keep it nice and secure, and it really allowed it to keep that stretch that's coming from the rib knit fabric. Now once I had that on, it was then time to sew this to the front leg of the pants itself. So just going to be doing this for both sides, matching it up. When I was working with these knits, I really found that the quilting clips held it together a lot better. So if you are somebody who's struggling with that, I'd highly recommend to get some quilting clips and that will hold it in place, especially since they sometimes can be a little bit slippery. Then I went through and used my serger to sew up both of those stripes on the pant legs. Once I had both of them sewn up though, I did go ahead and just sew up the cuffs at the bottom. You just needed to go through and do one seam for each. So I just got that out of the way so that when it came time to finishing these off, I didn't have to go back. Now it was time to start working on the back of the pants. So specifically there is one pocket on the back. So I just followed most of the prepping for that and just went through, sewed it up, and then ironed it so that it was nice and flat and everything was laying in place. And then, of course, like I said, she was here the entire time watching it through. And then I went through and just sewed on the pocket. So here's what that pocket looks like. We're going to be adding this now to the pants. On the back pants on one side, you will see that you will have two dots and you should have transferred them over. And that's how you know where to put the pocket. I do always just double check with the pattern. I do this a lot just to make sure that I know where the pocket is going to be going and I have it in the correct location. Once I had it there for this, you did need to use pins since it is in the middle and not a great way to use the quilting clips, but I didn't find it too difficult to sew this in place. I just went through, sewed it on doing that edge stitch. Now it was time to actually begin the process of making these into pants, which was probably the most exciting part for me of this sewing process, as I love when the things start to come together. So you have all of your individual pattern pieces and now they are becoming one. So for this, you're going to be doing the inseam first. So just matching those up with right sides together and then just taking that seam and doing this for both sides. And then while I was doing all these seams, this was mostly just done on my serger. I found it easier and I felt that it was going to be a little bit stretchier and have a lot more support. So with that done, it was then just time to do the front and the back of the pants together, which at this point I was so excited because they were really looking like pants. They're coming together and I was going to have something that would be able to have the try on ability. Once that seam was done, it was just time to sew up the front and back for the actual legs themselves and then doing that side seam for both of them. So again, I'm just matching these with right sides together, clipping this all the way up on either side. I would 100% say the quilting clips were a much better option for this than the pins, so I just went through and pinned all of that up. And then once it was pinned, I just went to my serger again, sewed this so that it was all nice and in place and secure. I did double check each time to make sure both of those layers of fabric were caught, which they were. Once I had that done, it was time to then start working on the casing, which is for where the elastic will go at the top of the pants. I did have my husband try on the joggers. You will not see him in this video at all, but so far they are fitting. And for this, just for the casing, we're just going to go through and sew up so that you have it coming together, but there will be about a 1.5 inch gap, and that will allow you to put the elastic in. So I just did this on my sewing machine. You can see there is that little gap there. That's where we're going to be inserting the elastic. So now it's just time to fold this over. The opening will be like the inside of the pants, so we'll be just hand stitching that closed later on. But for now, I'm just going to go through and fold this up, and then I use my quilting clips so that then we can go through and baste this. It's a lot easier to baste it instead of just trying to attach it directly onto the pants themselves. So highly recommend going through and doing that basting stitch. So making it a little bit bigger, but I still had this be a stretch stitch so that I was able to get a lot of that movement. Now I'm going to go back to the cuffs for a second, which are on the bottom of the pants. For this, I'm just going to do a couple small basting stitches to hold it in place. You really want this fabric to be very stretchy, so I found that basting it too much did take away some of that movement. So I just did it in a few spots so that it was mostly holding together and it would be a lot easier to sew later on. Next up though, it was time to add that casing to our pants. So matching with right sides together, I just went through and pinned up the casing all the way around to the waistband for our pants. So since we had gone through and basted it, this was very easy to do. I have everything in place though, so now it's just time to serge this. You could definitely use a double stitch as well. Again, I use my serger just because it is a little bit faster, but if you want to use your sewing machine, there's no issue with that. I'm going to be following the exact same idea for the bottom of the pants as well. So just putting these cuffs into place, sewing them, and then having it all nice and pinned up so that it does fit. Now I will say when you're sewing this, you want to be sure to stretch it from both the back and the front. Whether you're using your serger or your sewing machine, that will make it be so much smoother and easier for you. So here's what the waistband looks like, and then following that exact same procedure for the cuffs. Again, be sure to stretch from the front and the back. Now it's just time to add in the elastic. At this point, the pants were almost done and I was so excited because they were really coming along well. I really like how they look, and for this, I did overlap my elastic like the pattern said to, and so doing about 1 inch or so, and then I'm just going to be pinning this into place. My idea was to do like an X stitch, so doing an X, then having it be a box around it, just so I can make sure it's really nice and secure. I also am doing all of this with a stretch stitch too, so I'm still using that lightning stitch. I found the walking foot made it so much easier to sew this all into place. And then once I had that done, here's what it looks like. You can see it's nice and secure, but still stretchy. And then I'm just going to trim those threads and then put this back into the casing itself. So it fits very nicely back in there, and all that's left to do is sew up that little opening. So for this, I'm just going to be doing a hand slip stitch. That is what the pattern says. I think if you wanted to, you probably could sew this, like machine sew it closed. I found using a hand stitch though wasn't too hard and gave it a really nice result. Once that was done, the pants are then complete. I absolutely love how they look. You will see that I did skip the drawstring. I talked about it with my husband. He just didn't really want a drawstring, so we skipped it. And then I will say that these do fit. Like I said, he didn't want to be in the video, but they fit really nicely. He did say the top portion was a little large, but this was the size that the pattern said for him, so I think they are supposed to be a little bit more oversized. He did also mention that the pockets feel like they could be a little bit too baggy, like that things would fall out if you use them, but overall he said they were very comfortable to wear and he has already been wearing them. Let me know if you've made these. If you have, let me know some of your tips. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.